What's going on, guys? No Guides here. Welcome back to my first formation video of FIFA 20. I got the 4-1-2-1-2 wide variation, but we're going to play it like a 4-1-2-1-2 narrowing game. The reason why I don't want to use the reason why is because the 4-1-2-1-2 narrow, we all love the formation. I'm sure you've tried it. I'm also enjoying it over the 4-2-3-1. Problem is, defensively, there is issues defensively. In particular, it's obviously the wide areas. There's no one really covering the wide areas. So on the counter attack, your wings are very much exploited. Even if you put specific instructions on the left center mid and right center mid to cover the wing, there's still holes, there's still gaps, and we know how important pace is this year. And I think against star teams, a lot of cheap teams are just having fast, wingers, and they're having the fullbacks overlap, and it's so difficult to defend the wing areas with a 4-1-2-1-2 narrow. So even if you're a good player, you might struggle as well. I'm struggling myself as well. But with a 4-1-2-1-2 wide variation, I have specific instructions to make the wide variation defensively be a wide formation. But when you're attacking, basically what happens is that the left center mid and the right center mid in a 4-1-2-1-2, or in this case the left mid and right mid, tuck in. So when you're attacking, you're basically attacking in a very narrow format. But when you're defending, basically you're defending in a very wide place. So you're not basically getting doubled up on the wings, and at least you have some stability down on the wings. Now, tactics, let's get straight into it because that's what you're looking for. Drop back is still very much important this year, especially now that I think rebounds ever more present. And I think now a simple through ball. So if let's just example, you have a high defensive line. As usual, a simple through ball or lofted pass and behind is going to absolutely kill you. So you really want to use drop back. It's really important this year. Unfortunately to say, it's going to be the meta again. I don't like it, but the truth is, if you have a high defensive line, you're going to get killed. So that's why you want to have drop back on. I would say go balance, but I wouldn't honestly go pressure on every touch. You're just going to create holes in your defense unless you really know how to defend properly. Now width, obviously, defensively, it's quite... naturally speaking, the 4-1-2-1-2 is quite a wide formation. The narrow variation is quite a narrow formation. So you might need a wider width on a narrow formation. But because we're talking about the 4-1-2-1-2 wide here, very generally speaking, it's quite a wide formation naturally. So you don't want to increase the width too high. You just want to have it like at a kind of a medium level. So when you are defending, you're basically defending compactly, but you're also not leaving gaps. You see, this is how it kind of look like in game when you're defending. The left mid and right mids are almost tuck in between the centre backs and right backs. But then if someone does go down the wing, they can help defend there. So that's why you want to keep the width as it is. I would say it is the perfect width to have it at 5. Don't go anymore, I think. Depth 3. Another reason why depth is also very important is because in some respect, deflections are a big issue. You probably know that deflections from goalkeepers, if someone shoots across goal and the goalkeeper parries it, if there is a loose ball with a lower defensive line, your players are likely to get the ball and retain possession. If you have a higher line, the defenders are much more further away from your goalkeeper, and there's a higher chance of you not getting the ball. So you will find that when you have lower depth, you're going to have a lot less deflection shots going in because the loose balls will be latched on by your defenders. So that's why I'd go with 3 depth. And also with the 4-1-2-1-2, it's quite a spread out formation. So you kind of don't want the players to be, you don't want your striker and your cams to be too far apart. You don't want to have a situation where you're midfield. You don't want to have, for example, your striker's going to be up front, and you don't want to have a situation where there's going to be such a big gap between your CDM, your left mid and your cam, and the middle of the pitch you're going to be empty, and you can easily get counter-attacked. So that's why I think low depth is also very important for this formation. Now, offensive style, balanced. I'll get into it. You probably ask me why not long ball. The reason why is you kind of want, in this formation, you don't really want the left mid and right mids to get in behind. You kind of want them to come short because you want to play it like a 4-1-2-1-2. But we'll get into that in a second. But that's why you want to keep it on balance because you want the players to come short. If you use long ball, players will try to relatively make long balls, try to make runs in behind. So it's not really the best for tiki-taka or the quick 1-2s. So that's why you want to keep it on balance. It's kind of the best of both worlds. If you ever want to trigger a play to make you want to force a play to make a run in behind, of course you can use left back or L1. Now width, now obviously you want to make the formation as narrow as possible while this is for attacking. So when you do win the ball back and you transition from defense to attack, what's going to happen is your formation is going to become much more narrow much more compact. So when you're attacking, it's going to be a very much a narrow formation. Now you can use hug the sidelines, and what's that mean is your left mid and right mids are going to hug the sidelines. So if you're finding that the narrow is not working out for you in game, use a D-pad tactics, hug the sidelines, and that's it. Simple. You're going to then have width. But then naturally, if you don't use hug the sidelines, it's going to be very close and compact together, which is what I very much like. And I think you'll like using it as well. Now, when we get to plays in the box, it doesn't really matter too much. 4 is decent. I'm going to have certain instructions on the cams. For example, I want to have certain cams to get into the box. So that kind of overrides the instructions. So I think 4 is the best place so you don't get counter-attacked. It's mainly to do with your center mids. I would say 4, but it doesn't matter too much. But I'll get into that in a second. Now, instructions, arguably the most important thing. Both strikers, we left them on balance. The reason why is I've done some testing and I find that you probably realize dribbling is very much OP now. And I think the problem is if you have it on getting behind, your strikers on too many occasions will try to make a run in behind and then you lose the 1-2 outlet. If you have them both on balance, you can just play the triangles between your striker and your cam. If you have one player on getting behind, that player is always going to get in behind and you're kind of stuck with just 2 players. So it's best to have all 3 players kind of in the triangle. Once to start the pyramid, the cam gets the ball, then you can distribute and then start the 1-2s. So that's why I would personally go with balanced. And then the cam, can't leave him on stay forward. I'll leave him basically on balance. You want him to defend a bit, I would say. You want, most people are using 4-1-2-1-2s as well. So you want your cam to basically drop back, defend as well. So basically when you're up against your opposition's cam, he'll be kind of structured to kind of stop the striker, your opposition striker, and cam doing their playmaking abilities. Get into the box. Obviously, when once you get into a wide position, especially down the wing, don't forget this is only for when you're in a crossing situation. When you do get the ball in a situation, you do of course want your cam and you want your left mid and right mid to run into the box to make those last minute runs into the box. Obviously, it's going to help you score a lot more goals. So get into the box. Now CDM, we'll go to left mid and right mid in a second. CDM, we're going to use the new drop between defenders. Now this is actually very interesting. Now I would recommend having both your fullbacks on stay back, but have them on overlap. Now this is where things get really, really interesting. Because how it works now is drop between defenders. How it works is if your fullbacks run forward, it becomes a back 3. Now I'm going to help illustrate this and I suppose you can say depict this, and I suppose you can say in this formation kind of thing. So what happens is, let's say you're attacking, right? When you're attacking, your players are going to be up front. Now, if you have, for example, your CDM on drop between the defenders, he's going to tuck inside just in front of the centre backs. In the game, it'll look just in front of centre backs. But the good thing is, if you use your attacking D-pad tactics, fullbacks join the attack. Your fullbacks will then join the attack, or create more width, and basically, in some respect, become a back 3. So your CDM will no longer be a centre mid anymore. When you're defending, he'll basically act as a centre back. So that's really good. So if you're finding that you're saying in the game that you're struggling with a 4-1-2-1-2, all you got to do is put your CDM on drop between defenders, and your fullbacks and your left mid and right mid can help overlap, and you'll have the back 3 basically there to help defend. It's actually a really good tactic, and it's a really good addition that they brought in this year, and that's why I think stay back while attacking is important. If you want them to go forward, then of course just use your D-pad tactics. Now the left mid and right mid, as I said, we want to make this formation like the 4-1-2-1-2 narrow. The best way we can do that is with the instructions. Now I've tested some instructions. Now if this kind of depends on how you want to play it. I would personally put them on come back on defense, so that means when you're defending, they're going to come back and help defend. Because obviously you don't have anyone defending the wide areas because the CDM's on cover center. But what you want is come short. Now, if you put them on, so cut inside and come short. Now, this is kind of debatable. If you put them on come inside, come short, they're going to act like a 4-1-2-1-2. The only thing is they won't run, I suppose you can say, in a wide area. So you're kind of restricted in playing the 4-1-2-1-2 style. So what I mean by that is that when you're attacking, these left mid and right mids, when let's say your cam gets the ball, they're going to attempt to come short and give you the support, and then you can basically play the 1-2s with the strikers, the left mids, the cams, etc., etc. That's why you want them on cut inside and come short. But as I said, you do lose the fact that, you know, the players, they won't get in behind. You can, of course, force players to get in behind by pressing LB or L1. That's what I'd recommend. Just try this, give it a try, see how you like it. If not, just leave this unbalanced. If you leave this unbalanced, what they will do is they'll basically come in, they'll basically left mid and right mid will still cut inside if you leave it unbalanced, and you should have still the attacking support. So you want to play the quick 1-2s, or you want to attack down the wings, you'll be fine. Now just want to say very quickly, it won't be exactly like the 4-1-2-1-2 narrow. It would be very much like this, how it looked like in game. So it won't, the right mids won't be like that. That's how it kind of is in a narrow formation. They'll kind of be a bit on the outside. That's how it kind of look like when you're attacking. But give it a try. In some respect, they almost treat like left forward and right forwards. But I think you'll really enjoy it. And I think if you can use that and then use that along with the fullbacks joining the attack, if you have them on overlap and you have the CDM on drop between defenders, it's going to make for a good attacking threat. And obviously when you're defending, your left back and right backs will try to run back, and then you'll have your back three on drop back, so they will drop back a bit further. Then your left back and right back will come and retreat. So I suppose you do have some stability as well, defending while and attacking, which is very important. But anyway, guys, this is the 4-1-2-1-2. Hope you enjoyed this new format. Let me know what you think about this new format. Hope this explains things a bit better. One thing I would say, if you have a player like Ben Yedder who's got low stamina, or Messi, for example, obviously put conservative interceptions on. You don't want to have your cam who's going to be running up and down a lot of the time. You don't want him to have low stamina. So if you've got someone like Ben Yedder or someone like Messi, it might be worth putting conservative interceptions and stay forward. But of course, you do lose that defensive ability of your cam coming back and helping defend against, you know, helping defend the center of the pitch, if that makes sense. But anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions, please let me know down in the comment section down below. And I'll catch you in the next video. I might make the 4-2-3-1 video next. I still got some minor adjustments to make and some testing to do. But for now, hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a try and let me know how it goes. Peace out, guys.